I remember times when bullets didn't roam on late night streets. Times when people had respect for elderly and bowed at their feet. I reminisce on days when men were more discreet and then try to get 7-year-old girls between the sheets. Can you remember when the best things in life were free? How easily we could find a job and be all you wanted to be. Times when our sons and daughters weren't the most wanted on BBC, when taking an innocent life was seen more seriously. I remember when babies were once born with their eyes closed. It was once upon a time when minds were easy to mold. Parents would watch and smile as their child's life would unfold when there weren't the fears of sending them out into the cold. In a cold world where boys and being sodomized at 10 years old, when a woman's ambition was more than sliding around a pole, when more fruitful paths was chose, when a country's doors of opportunity weren't closed, when governments at least left something for the people when they stole, when a man's integrity was something too important to be sold. Tell me you remember when kids did hopscotch, tag and play jacks, when they could have fun outside without being kidnapped, when gold chains weren't snatched, when vulnerable women weren't attacked, when brothers and sisters actually had your back, when we didn't lose family members to crack. It could have been Patron, Hennessy, Ciroc, or Cavassier, Grey Goose, Amaretto, Smirnoff, or Grand Marnier, but we didn't lose our fathers to liquor. People understood what alcohol abuse did to their liver. It wasn't normal to hear the sound of body bag zippers when you questioned why. You could hear God whisper. He was talking if you were a good listener. Hard times seemed to come to an end much quicker. It was easier to find a true sister. Life just didn't taste so bitter. Father knows, back then the truth of this poem didn't raise my pause. We looked at our condition and recognized the cause. Justice may not have been found in courts, but at least it existed in the laws. I'm talking about way, way before we were treated unjustly and would break down our own neighborhood stores, when a man and woman's sexual pleasure was much more and their offspring wasn't an unwanted chore. A time when you weren't afraid to tell what you saw. Truth was at a man's core. Do you remember when opportunity knocked at least once on every man's door? Both the rich and the poor. No one could have said they didn't see it at all. You may have missed it, but trust me, it called. It was easier to get up when you would fall. Trying to make ends meet wasn't like hitting a brick wall. Equality was there for the short and the tall, the big and the small, for all. Man, I remember when leaders had a plan, when they would try to understand, when people didn't lose hope in a man's vision. Yes, we can. If you feel me, let's reminisce about the realness of self, when we didn't blame another for the hand we were dealt. My grandmother never complained about the pain she felt. She got down, hands clasped, and prayed as she knelt, confident that God would be there to help. A time when blessings of life wasn't only measured in wealth. People were satisfied and gave thanks for good health. I remember when guys wore belts and had respect for self, when my grandmother didn't know what was poom-poom shorts. A time when women weren't proud of being naked because of how much their outfit cost. A time when God could bring us back to basics when we were lost and He was the boss. I dream of a time when we can reinstitute these conditions, when a desire for change will guide our decisions, when these visions will come into fruition. Present times will make transition. Man and woman, both black and white, will form new coalitions with unity as our mission. Listen, I had a dream that we did achieve by any means necessary. I know